For problem 1, she's painting 148 rooms in the hotel. So we're going to figure out the area that we need to paint in one room and multiply it by 148 to figure out the total area of all of the surfaces that need to be painted. She's painting all 4 walls and the ceiling, so we need to figure out the area of the front, the back, the left, the right, and the ceiling in each room. And if you figure out the area of each of those walls or ceiling individually and add them all up, you get a total of 824 square feet for one room. So if you multiply that by 148 rooms, you get a total of 121,952 square feet total. Then we need to figure out how much paint it takes. Since the base paint covers 500 square feet, we're going to take the total square footage and divide it by 500. It comes out to be a decimal, and since we can't buy a fractional amount of a gallon of paint, we can't buy 0.94 gallons, we need to round that up. It's going to take 244 gallons of paint for the base paint. With the finishing paint, it only covers 250 square feet, so divide by 250 and you'll get twice as many gallons, 488 gallons of finishing paint. Number 2 is talking about wallpaper, and the strategy that I used is I figured out the area of the room that needs wallpaper. So I figured out the front, the back, the left, and the right, and added it all up, and I saw that that room took 480 square feet. That's the amount of space that needs wallpaper. Then I figured out the area that one roll covers, and each one roll is 2.5 feet by 50 feet. So each one roll covers 125 square feet. So to figure out the number of rolls, I'm going to divide the total amount of area that needs wallpaper by the amount that each roll covers, and I get approximately 4 rolls of wallpaper are needed. Number 4 is talking about a deck that's in the shape of a kite. The area of a kite is diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. So the area of the deck is 1,400 square feet. The sealant covers 400 square feet. So if we divide that area by 400, we get that every time he covers the deck, it's going to take 3.5 gallons. But he's doing that every 6 months. So since that's twice a year, that means every year it's going to take him 7 gallons. He'll use 3.5 in June maybe, and another 3.5 at the end of the year. So the final question was, how many gallons does he need for 3 years? Well, if he needs 7 gallons for 1 year, for 3 years, it's going to take 21 gallons. Number 5 is talking about some flower beds that are in the shape of trapezoids. What we're going to do is focus on finding the area of one trapezoid first and go from there. The area of one trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. And when you work that all out, you get that each one trapezoid has an area of 112 square feet. Since there are a total of 3 trapezoids, all 3 of them together have an area of 336 square feet. The fee is $100 no matter what, plus $5 for every square foot. So since there were 336 square feet, if we do 100 plus 5 times 336, we get a total cost of $1,780. For number 6, I just sketched out the top part of the floor plan for number 6, because that one only has to do with the 3 bedrooms and the hallway. Figuring out the area of the 3 bedrooms is pretty straightforward, because they give you the dimensions for the 3 bedrooms. What's a little bit tricky is figuring out the dimensions of the hallway. What I did was split the hallway into 2 rectangles, one here and one there. And I figured out that it was 10 by 3, and here's how I did it. I took all of the dimensions that they gave and I wrote it off to the side. So like this room was 10 by 9, so I put 10 and a 9. This room was 10 by 8, so I put those on the two sides and so on. And when I did that, that helped me figure out that this side was 10, because the room right above it is 10 by 6. So if that's 10, this is going to be 10. Then the way I figured out that this side was 3 was I knew that this entire part is 9, and this part is 6. So if I do 9 minus 6, I get that that dimension is 3. So to figure out the area of this top part of the hallway, we need to do 10 times 3. I used similar reasoning to figure out the area of the bottom part of the hallway. On the bottom part of the hallway, I knew that this was 8 because the two rooms right next to it are 13 by 8 and 10 by 8. And to figure out the 4, I looked at how long the entire top was. 10 plus 10 plus 7 is 27. And then at the bottom, I knew this was 10, I knew this was 13. So when I subtracted that from the total, I figured out that this part must be 4, so that it still adds up to 27. So this little part of the hallway has an area of 8 times 4. So when I add that together, I get that the hallway has a total of 62 square feet. Add that all together, and you get a total of 336 square feet that need to be carpeted. But the carpet is sold in square yards, so we need to remember conversion. Yes, there are 3 feet in a yard, but in terms of square feet and square yards, there are 9 square feet in every square yard. So take the total number of square feet and divide it by 9 to get 37.3 repeating square yards, which rounds up to 39 square yards of carpet. So for the carpet, it's $17 for every square yard, or sorry, $14 for every square yard. The padding is $3 for every square yard. Installation is $3 for every square yard. So it gives you a total of $760. For number 7, I took a look at the bottom part of the picture, and I want to put terracotta tiles in the entryway and the kitchen. The kitchen is fairly easy to figure out the area of 10 times 18. For the entryway, I had to figure out the dimensions again. I could figure out this is 10 because the room that it's right next to is also 10. To figure out the 4, I looked over here and saw that this entire side was 22. So that means this entire side must be 22 also. So I took my 22 and subtracted 18 to get that that's 4. So the entryway has an area of 10 by 4 or 40 square feet. Between those two rooms, the entryway and the kitchen, there's a total of 220 square feet. Since each tile is 1 square foot, that means we need a total of 220 terracotta tiles. I don't have the picture down here of the 2 bathrooms, but the bathrooms, the dimensions are given right in the picture. One of them is 10 by 6, and the other one's 7 by 9. So the total square footage of the 2 bathrooms is 123 square feet. But the tiles are only 4-inch squares. So I need to figure out how many 4-inch squares are in a square foot. I drew out a square foot, and I figured out if I split that up into 4 by 4-inch squares, there would be a total of 9 tiles in every square foot. So if there's 123 square feet, for each square foot I need 9 tiles. Multiply it by 9 to get a total of 1,107 blue tiles. So combine those two answers. Combine the number of terracotta tiles and the blue tiles. Terracotta tiles are $5 each. Blue tiles are 45 cents each. And we get a total cost of $1,598.15, 15 cents. For 8, if you look at that picture and you move the top curvy part over and kind of upside down, it's going to fit perfectly in that empty space. So then we're just figuring out the area of a rectangle. This rectangle down here at the bottom. It is 12 by 6, so the area is 72 centimeters squared. mind, no matter which base and height you look at, the area is still base times height divided by 2. So there are 3 different bases and 3 different heights we can think of, but they should all equal the same one. If you focus on base CB and height AF, you can figure out an exact number for the area. CB is 16, AF is 10.5, so you get that the area is 84. Now I'm going to use that and set that 84 equal to that way to find the area using base AB, and this way to find the area using base AC. So I did it 2 separate ways here. So first, if I set that 84 equal to AB times 10.2 divided by 2, I can solve by multiplying both sides by 2, dividing both sides by 10.2, and you have to round. It's kind of a weird decimal. You get AB is approximately 16.47. Then start all over and do it again. So the area is 84. So if I set that 84 equal to 11 times BD divided by 2, I'll be able to solve for BD. Multiply both sides by 2 and divide by 11 to get an approximately for BD at about 15.27.